Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mint Flips, where I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and every 100 subscribers there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I have 20 orders going out today, so a great sales weekend. I actually had 21, which I still might. 21 is my record of sales for a shipping day, and I had 21, but they accidentally picked local pickup, which happens. Sometimes it's an honest mistake. Sometimes they'll, say, no, this was free shipping, those kind of things. But whatever. They were nice. They said, no, it was a mistake. Go ahead and cancel it and I'll buy it again. If they do, this will tie my most orders going out on a single shipping day. And if it wasn't for this one that just came in, it would have been a lot of items for not a ton of money, but I don't care. I don't care. Sales keep rolling in. It feels good. And the more things sell on a regular basis, the more motivation you have to list. And like I said before, everything has a silver lining. If you sell a bunch of your low dollar items, your average price per item in your store goes up. If you sell a bunch of low dollar items, you sold a bunch of items. Silver linings. But I'm not going to complain about this. This is great. 20 items. Let's go. But of course, it's Monday, so it's time for
What's That Worth?
And today on
What's That Worth?
is an Xbox One power supply. About to list the Xbox, and for parts only, the Xbox. So I was going to list the cord with it, but then I was like, let me look this up first, just to see. So of course, Price is Right rules. If you go over, you're disqualified. Free shipping. So whatever it is, free shipping. Include the shipping into the price. Pause the video, drop your comment, drop your guess, and win yourself some Tip of the Mint Flips merch. First thing going out, A5, 186 Harvite, I think. These actually, they had sold, quote unquote, last week, but the buyer did not pay, and they eventually did. And these are clay poker chips. They're embossed with a golfer on them. And I took an offer, $29.99 plus shipping. And that's about what you get for what works out to about 2 boxes of chips. 150 to 200 chips of those embossed clay chips. I've now sold the golf ones, the polo ones. I have some that I went back and changed the title because they say monkey business on them, I think. Something monkey, I don't remember exactly. But what I added was anthropomorphic and like animals playing poker or something like that, because that's going to be more the selling point for the chips. I wanted to just say it was dogs playing poker, but one of them I think is a monkey, and one of them I think is like a gopher. I don't know. It's not like quality artwork. But either way, I went back and adjusted that because that one had been listed a long time and hadn't had really any sniffs at it or anything. But those embossed clay poker chips, about $30 plus shipping for what works out to 2 boxes. I rarely find the boxes, but I find the chips quite often. Next up, B5 is a vintage Tupperware gray lid. It's quite large. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to pack this up. I'll probably just wrap 2 pieces of cardboard, just lay a flat piece and a flat piece and tape the edges and ship it out like that, because I don't think that'll fit in my large poly bags. But for that, $12.50 free shipping, I took an offer. Next up, it's a remote, an LG a blah 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 blah. It is this, which is your standard LG television remote. The reason the sticker's still on it, because this, I think, is still, or at least it was, a multi-quantity listing. And the only reason I listed those is because it was less than 10, but I had quite a few. So I one listing for a bunch, $6.99 free shipping. Not a ton of money, but I had a bunch of them, so one listing makes it worth it, in my opinion. That's actually going to Puerto Rico, so I will make even less money on that one. But $6.99 free shipping. Next up, it's a book. Only listed a couple days. Took an offer. Tarzan the Terrible. Gotta move the cat bed. Tarzan the Terrible. right here. And if I had pre-sorted all the books before I started listing them, I would have grouped up all the Tarzans together and sold them as a lot, because there was a bunch, and a couple were first editions, a couple were first edition second printings, and a couple were not at all. They were, you know, 5th or 6th or 30th printing. But if I would have allotted them all together, the better ones would increase the value of the lower ones, something like that. Kind of a balance, but that's not how I'm doing it. So for this Tarzan the Terrible first edition in not good condition, $10 free shipping, I took an offer. Next up, it's a book, Our Day in the Light, Prophecy, Our Day in the Light of Prophecy. And it's got that cool, I can't remember what that's called, but it's like this tie-dye finish on the outside of the pages. I always really like that. I think it's cool. This is decorative, but when it's the gold, that actually, I found out the reason they do that, the gilding, I think is what that's called, or gilding, I'm not sure. But when there's gold on there, they actually did that to prevent bugs. It wasn't to be decorative. That when they did that, that was to prevent bugs. And then I'm sure over time, people just were like, oh, that looks cool. Let's keep doing that. $7.99 free shipping for that one. And the books, of course, go media mail. Next up, and you'll see quite a few cheap ones. That's why I'm not going to complain, but there's a lot of low dollar ones here today. B2A is a McDonald's Furby B2A. And I don't know what it is with the McDonald's Furby community, but they're cheap. Because I kept getting offers on these Furbies for less money than it would cost to ship. And it is not in B2A. So it's probably in B2C maybe? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay. Well, I get all these compliments on how good my organizational system is, and here I am embarrassing myself. All right, it's got to be in the basket over here then. If not, I don't know what. I mean, maybe I had a off quantity, but I don't think so. I'm assuming it's just in here. Let's find out. All right, it was in this basket, which is not B2A. That is A2A, which I guess, you know, in the scope of things, not off by that much, but the reason I wasn't sure what I was looking at, it says elephant, so of course I didn't notice that, but this is it. It is a Furby elephant type looking thing. I don't know. McDonald's 2000 Furby plush keychain elephant number 1, $7.19 free shipping. Next up is a movie. It's a VHS. That Thing from Another World. There we go. That Thing from Another World. Right here on VHS. And for that, I got $6 free shipping. Next up, it's a book. 1933 first edition. The First World. Okay, that's a big book. We got a big book over here. All right. Oh, I got to put the camera down because this one is very fragile. All right, here we go. The First World War, first edition with the dust jacket, $10.99 free shipping. That's a big old book. And then next up, I'm not going to grab it, but it's a Boss GT10B, which is this bass effects pedal. This is used about a $350 unit. I got it at a garage sale for a few bucks. It does not work. The house was hit by lightning and there's a burn on the side. The board is completely fried. When pricing out something that is broken electronics, they have a value. Even if somebody just wanted that for all the switches and the plastic parts and the casing, it still has a value to somebody, and sometimes it's hard to determine what that is. So usually what I'll take is a percentage or a fraction of what the used price is. So $350. I said, honestly, I just want to make it worth, with that one, I just want to make it worth my time to pack. So 25 bucks, I was like, okay, that's kind of where I would find it acceptable, because that's going to take me a little while to pack. 10 minutes maybe if I got the right box, 20 minutes if I got to build a box. So 25 bucks, I was like, okay, that's fair. So I just made it 50 so that offers would be, within that range. If they got half off, they're getting a deal and I'm getting enough money to make it worth my time. And so I listed $50 plus shipping, and I almost immediately got an offer for $5. And that's just, like I said, that's not enough, that's not worth my time to pack it. I would throw it away before I would take $5. I declined, and I didn't decline. I sent a counter offer, $25, because that's what I'm willing to take. They came back with some rude comment and an offer of $10. Okay, for one, 10 is not acceptable, so I'm not going to take it anyway. But the rude comment, now I'm just declining, and I'm not going to deal with you as a customer, period. Because that's the choice I get to make. And then, I don't know, 12 hours later, someone offered me 40 bucks. So there we go. $40 plus shipping for a 100% broken item. Next up, it's a book. It's actually two books. It is Hickory Ridge. They're like Boy Scout adventure books. I have never seen these before. They're not worth a ton of money in any condition. These ones are in bad condition. I would say somewhere between bad and terrible. But they're a book that young boys in the 1912s would have had. So that's a lot to survive to even exist. But for the pair of them, $7 free shipping. I think I had them $9.99 free shipping. But again, the books, it's really just whatever people want to pay. Because, and this is the key, because my cost is $0. For other people, don't list that. If someone else is listing that for $9.99, you've wasted your time because you've had to pay some amount of money. My cost is $0, so therefore it's okay. It's still not great, but it's okay. Next up, C1A is Farberware C1A. Farberware, they're like the rotisserie fork holder thingies. Very descriptive, I know. But these right here, they are for your spit rod and motor for your Farberware open hearth cookers. And for those, I got $11.99 free shipping. Next up, this one I'm going to keep an eye out for, because the only reason mine wasn't worth $50 is because it was missing two little legs. But on C4 is a 1980 Deluxe Deluxe Rummy Cube, which I used to play this with my Aunt Sis. Yes, Aunt Sis, that was her name. I mean, that's not her real name, but that's what we called her. And it comes in a cool, it's almost like fiberglass, but I think it's some type of plastic case. And the shelf type things, those make the top and bottom. And then there's these little legs that hold them up, that clip on. And it was missing two of them. So I had to, of course, bring the price down. But this part was pretty cool. It's got the Toys R Us price tag. So I did put in the listing that was a Toys R Us or something like that, just in case that mattered to a game collector of some kind. I don't think it did. But this set right here, with the case and everything, if you have the box and all the pieces, this is about $50 plus shipping. So that's definitely something I'm going to look out for as far as games, because I used to list a lot of board games. Don't do that. Be very selective with board games, or else you end up with a pile like that one that has been listed for a year. And that pile used to be about 3 times that size, and they'll every once in a while one will sell, but it's not worth the dollars, time, effort, all that. Be selective with games. $29.99 plus shipping. And I will be able to, I hope, find some type of, because it won't fit in a regional A or B, I'll probably be able to do Pirate Ship Cubic to save me a bunch of money on this, because it's heavy, but it's very compact. So it won't fit in a regional A. I don't think there's any flat rates that'll fit in well. So I think Cubic, I'll be able to save some money, because it's small, but heavy. I threw the camera back on because I've never used this before. I'm shipping the Rummy Cube out, and I was going to try it in a shoebox priority. Ended up being, it was going to be $24 basically. It was going to be $18 if I did box and bag through Pirate Ship. But I just scrolled through to see what, if there was possibly UPS or something, even though they pick priority. So you're kind of not supposed to do that. But as scrolling through, I see FedEx 2-day, which would be a comparable service to Priority Mail. So you can interswitch those. Interswitch, whatever, that's not how you say that. But either way, $14.85 instead of $23.29. So almost a $10 savings for switching to FedEx 2-day service, because with eBay, looks like there's an 82% discount if you're a top-rated seller on FedEx 2-day. I don't know if that's new, that it's that significant, or it just happens to be that this one time it works out to be a bargain, but I've never used it before. I'll have to check from now on, though, because $10 is a big deal. On some of the things I sold today, I didn't make $10, so definitely check your shipping. And then next up, B2A McDonald's Food Fooler, and it's the French fries this time. And these ones have been doing pretty good. Not a ton of money, but I sell one, I sell a couple of these a week, one a week, something like that. So new in package, not a bad one to pick up, just because the sell-through rate is good. The money is okay, $8 free shipping. That's not terrible. But the sell-through rate for these food foolers, this one, the chicken nuggets one I sold a couple of, sell-through rate's okay. I said $8 free shipping? Right, yeah. My memory is very good if you haven't picked up on that. Next up, My Favorite Martian on VHS. Oh, it's a clamshell. So it's right here. My Favorite Martian with Jeff Daniels, who is the most famous person that I've ever met. Jeff Daniels is from Michigan. I used to work at a golf course. He was college roommates with one of our golf course members. And so I knew he was coming, and I had the day off. So I went golfing that day and ran into him. Yeah, I was that guy. He did not want to talk to me. He made that he wasn't rude, but as soon as my cart pulled up to the tee box that he was at, his face said, "Please do not ruin my day by talking to me." So I did, and I said hello to the member. He said, "Hey, these are my college roommates." And I said, "Oh, nice to meet you guys." And I rolled on with my day. Shook a couple hands. How's your game? Some pleasantries, but no like, "Hey, can I have a picture?" "Hey, Newsroom was one of my favorite shows ever on HBO." I didn't fanboy. I just said, "Okay, yep. Keep it between the creeks," or some, stupid golf blah 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 that you just say to people. Next up, also went back and watched this for family movie night not that long ago, and I'm finding that a bunch, and I mean most, older kids movies are super pervy. We watched The Rocketeer the other day, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it was really odd how often that they would put in, like zoom in on a woman's breasts or something, like really off-putting as an adult. Who are these people that were creating these movies that went, you know what this kid's movie needs in the middle of it? Some pervy looks from a character. I don't know. I know they still like sneak in adult jokes in Shrek or newer cartoons, but they weren't sneaking them in back then. They were just doing it. Just creepy. It was very odd. And the more older movies we're watching, the more I'm like, man, where were my parents? Next up, it's some books. I gotta turn this heat down. Woo! We have gotten some fantastic weather lately. Really warm. My yard is currently a pond because all the snow melted and then it rained. But the ground's still frozen, so it has nowhere to go. I was very worried the garage was going to flood. But either way, back to pulling orders. Ideals publication. It's a lot of... It's got to be this whole pile here. A lot of these Ideals books. Some are hardcover, some are not. A lot of them together. $17.99 free shipping. I had some that were duplicates, but without lotting them together, individually selling them was not worth it at all. Next up, it's a book. 1907, The Champion, right here with, I think they call that a lithograph cover. I think that's what they're calling it. I'm not sure, but it's basically a sticker they put on the covers. $12 free shipping, and I took an offer on that. I think it was 20 bucks, so a significant offer, but either way, I'm okay with it. This I'm very happy to see go. I was sending out low offers trying to get this out of my way. But it is a lot of 58 assorted DVDs, which is just this taco shell box down here. I'm not going to dig it out, but it's exactly what it says. It's used DVDs. $29.99 free shipping. Not my bag, man. Not my vibe. I won't do that again. They were given to me, so it is what it is. It's not worth the time to go through and see if any of them are worth anything, because that's, I mean, to go through 58, what is that, an hour? Even if you're just scanning barcodes, that's a long time. So a lot of them all together, and how lots that do sell usually go is they'll be all comedy. You know, 50 comedy DVDs, 50 drama DVDs, 50 action DVDs, but I just lotted them all together. Been listed forever. $30 free shipping. But I was sending out offers of like 20 bucks, and somebody paid full price. That's what I had it listed at, so that's great. Glad to see that go. Hopefully I can just ship it right in the box it's in. Next up, it's a remote Sony something or other. I'll probably just grab the bag and double check the picture, which I think this is my Sony bag. Yep, Sony. All right, Sony RM. Is it this one? That's a Fisher. RMPP 402. RMPP 402. This one right here. And for that remote, I got $19.99 free shipping. I think I sent out an offer because I think it was $24.99 free shipping. But remotes, don't sleep on remotes. I don't come across ones very often anymore because, like everything else, I was buying them regularly. 25 cents a piece at all the resale shops. I would go in, and if the batteries weren't in it and corroded, 25 cents, it was going in the cart. I didn't even look them up, just 25 cents. Now, Salvation Army, a remote, a loose, stinking remote, $2.50. Who's going to buy that? Even at half off, who's going to buy that? They're thinking because somebody was buying them that they must have a value to everybody. No, they had a value to me at 25 cents. And now they're just piling up. There's just the bucket where they keep them in at every one of these stores is now just piling up because the people that are buying those are buying them for resale. Nobody's like, oh, I lost my remote. Let me go check all the real resale shops in town. No, they go to eBay and they buy one if they want one. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. And I don't want to say it's greed. It's a lack of realization of where the dollars are coming from or who is buying the items. It doesn't make sense. Same thing with hats. Same thing with the plush. They raised the prices and now they're just mounding up because the people that were emptying these things out on a regular basis were resellers. It doesn't... It's their business. Do it the way they want. But it's just going to pile up. And then they'll have to do some type of event. Or they'll have to do like a buy a bag full of stuffies sale. I don't know. I think I've been watching too many videos of people who get to source in areas where their sourcing is fantastic. And my area is not like that. So maybe it's a little bit of jealousy. Maybe I should do some introspection instead of so much judgment. Something to think about. Next up, B5 is a vintage Corningware B12345. I'll have to double check because I actually have a surprising amount of lids up there. It is a G5C, which I think is a round, but let's see. G5C, and we'll double check to see if it's the fluted one. Although I called it ribbed in the listing, but fluted, $5.50 plus shipping. And then the one where they accidentally selected local pickup, they've been very delayed on their message responses, so I don't expect it to come in today or in time to ship out. But the last thing going out that just came in before I fired up the camera, vintage 1970 Milton Bradley paddle pool. Right up here, this big old box. I mean, these are medium flat rates, so you can see it is larger than 4 medium flat rates stacked up. Big pain in my butt. But if it's going to be a pain in your butt, you might as well get $109.99 plus shipping. It is missing some parts. It has one little broken part on it, but $109.99. I had it $124.99, sent out offers, and somebody bit $109.99. What a great sale. And I had that sitting around forever. Don't do it. Don't do that. List the things you got. Don't pile them up. List them, which is, again, that's what I'm in the middle of. Still car full of stuff because I thought, because I was getting down the end of my death pile, that I was going to just zip through it. But there was actually a lot of stuff at the bottom of that death pile. 50 items or something. Not all of it's been worth it. You know, this is my garage sale items here. Very bummed out about this. It's a sound design flip clock. I'm getting an echo, so let me move. The flip clock part doesn't work, and I took it apart hoping maybe I could fix it, and I could see where a spring, it's like a, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a, it looks like a paper clip, but it's like a tension spring almost, and it had come out, and all I had to do was like get it back into place. I spent about 15 minutes trying and went, nope, there's no way I'm going to actually be able to get this to go back together. And if I spend an hour and then it still doesn't work, because the motor was running, it just wasn't flipping the clock. And that, if it was a Sony, I probably would have listed it for parts, but because it's a sound design, even fully functional, it's like a $35, $40 unit. So for parts, you know, maybe 10 bucks, maybe 15 bucks. And it's going to take up a decent amount of space. So I said, they'll go in the garage. If somebody else want to mess with it, that's fine. So this stuff's got to go out to storage for garage sale. This stuff's got to go to my dad's storage for him to decide what he wants to do with it. It was either not worth listing or not worth listing. And like I said, like this, I haven't even been able to get to this box yet. Cleared out most of the stuff that was on here. It's the end of that death pile. Had more things in it than I expected, or I don't know, maybe it just, I'm so used to death piles being large that when they're small, I forget that they could still be a lot of stuff. So hopefully I'll get that all done today so that I can empty my car and list some of that new stuff. So now for the results of what's that worth. And today for this Xbox One OEM, you see it's actual Xbox, power supply cord, shockingly, at least in my opinion, shockingly, $39.99 free shipping. That's crazy. You used to be able to get an Xbox One in the secondary market for $39.99. And what that does for me is that puts the base of what I'm willing to pay for an Xbox One, untested, games, controllers, whatever it is. The base for it is 40 bucks. I'll pay 40 bucks for it. I don't care. If it looks like trash, if it's half broken, like a piece missing, if the power supply is in there, I'm willing to shell out 40 bucks blind, don't have to test it, don't have to care, because I can flip one of those. And the turnover is great. I think there was like, I don't know, 300 listed and 200 sold or something like that. So that's still pretty good. So definitely something to look out for. Definitely something to consider when pricing out how much you can pay for a Xbox One. And to announce last week's winner, which I gotta find a better way to track this because my videos are a week ahead of schedule, and then it takes a week for the What's That Worth winner, so it's 2 weeks behind, and I keep getting it flip-flopped in my brain. So I gotta find a better way to track that before I skip somebody, because I'd hate to do that. It's not the issue of how much work it is for me. I would hate for somebody to miss out on the prize. But last week's winner, as I'm rambling, is Darren Constantine, which Darren's been around the channel for a while, friend of the channel, $37.99 for those vintage Micro Machines. So congrats to you. I would have messaged you by now if I haven't reached out to you. If you haven't reached back to me yet, join the Facebook group, which I think you're already in, and I'll actually check that because that'd be easy for me to message you. So if I haven't made contact by the time you see this, definitely reach out to me and we'll get those shipped out to you. And then unfortunately for, not to rub it in, but unfortunately for Procrastination Station, you guessed $40 exactly, and in the video I said $39.99, so you went over by a penny. Price is Right rules. Gotta make it a little challenging.